Well, I've got a treat for you today here in Texas. Stop by to see Leonard Milholland, who builds what? The Legal Eagle Ultralights and many renditions after that. We're going to give you a home tour and a shop tour of all the aircraft he's built over the years right now. Yes, that's an airliner house with a carport and a back porch. You see some really interesting things traveling this country, capturing original aviation content.
In 800 feet, your destination will be on the left.
Like today, I have the honor of getting to meet the man that designed, built, and has flown the most successful and affordable plans-built ultralight in the world. Maybe you've heard of him. His name, Leonard Milholland. His airplane, the Legal Eagle. Here in this location.
I've been here a little over 40 years.
And what did you build first in kind of sequential building onto
The first airplane I built was
No, the home.
Oh, the home. Well, we built, of course we had to pour the slab first. And it's a 60 by 80 slab. And about the time we had 16 Mexicans up here pouring it for me because I couldn't do it by myself. And about the time we got almost through, it started raining, and we almost lost the slab. They saved it. They went and got some more concrete. Thank God it quit raining. But this is I've been here a long time, and it's really a good place to live. Would you like to come on in and see the airplanes?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on over here.
So what's this hanging on the wall here, Leonard?
Well, that
in your hand.
That came from EAA, and it's a Hall of Fame. In 2015, I got Ultralight Hall of Fame, and this is the trophy award, and this is the explanation for the Hall of Fame.
Well, hold up that trophy for a second here. And this for your outstanding workmanship on designing an aircraft, or what do they give this here for you?
Well, it's every year they have a Hall of Fame for different categories, and they have one every year for ultralights too. And a friend of mine turned me in, and he made such a good presentation that they said that was my year. But
that is amazing. That is a great award to have.
The experience we had, the first time we ever went to Oshkosh, my wife and I came out of the dormitory and we were going to get on the bus to go to the field, and this Oldsmobile car pulls up. So, you going to the field? I said, yeah. I said, we are. He said, well, hop in. We're going out there, we'll take you. And so on the way out there, he asked me where we wanted to go. And at that time, T-18s were really popular. Okay. So I said, I want to go to the T-18s. So he drives right out on the field where the airplanes are. And I said, what's going on here, man? This guy. And we got out at the where the T-18s were, and walked over and started looking at the airplane, and somebody came up to me and said, do you know who that was? I said, no. Nice guy. Said, that was Paul Probanesi. Now, this is my office. My cousin and I built this desk, and I designed them. My cousin and I built them. He and I built the first one, and then me and him built the second one. And it took me about 2 weeks to get them all varnished up and everything after we built them. But I don't mind sitting in front of a TV with this because all my junk and stuff is right here handy. Paper, everything, stuff. And so I don't have to get up and run around the office looking for stuff. It's all right here. I have a lot of people contacting me on email. Legal airplane, new orders. Well, it looks like I sold a set of plans. Come on in the shipping department. This is the office. I have a shipping department in here. And this is plans. This is plans for the Legal Eagle. This is plans for the Legal Eagle XL. And this is plans for the Double Eagle.
All ready to head out the door.
So all I have to do is what I do is put a full-size wing rib pattern. I send them a full-size wing rib pattern so that they don't have to there's a pattern in the plans, but this is all in one piece. The ones in the plans are in separate sheets. So I just fold this up like this. The reason I'm doing this so it'll go in the envelope. I sell DVDs for a half VW engine. This is the engine DVD, and this is one for the heads. Tell you how to make the heads. This one's about the information for the whole Legal Eagle and the Legal Eagle XL. What it does, it goes around, I go around the airplane and just describe everything. And there's a little bit of flying, not a lot of flying, but some flying in this video. And this is the wings video. Found a place for them. This is for the Briggs & Stratton engine. Gives you all the information on that. And this is in the plans, so it gives you a good idea what the airplane's supposed to look like before you cover it. All the plans have been drawn right here, and the DVDs I put them in a shipping envelope when I finish those, and I make the DVDs over here. I have a 5-copier.
Multitask.
Yeah, let's go back in. Handle with care. Use finger and edge handling only. No fingerprints, no scratches, no dirt. And since I put that on there, I haven't had any trouble with the DVD. I got one back one time, looked like the dog been playing with it like a frisbee or something. He said, "It doesn't play or work." I said, "No, it's not going to work that way."
All right, well, let's move on outside and into the hangar to see Leonard's Creations.
Today is a nice day, but we've been having, that's the bench where I built about 10 airplanes on, maybe more. And I got an extension I can put on it and make it 4 feet longer. And this is a project that I'm stuck on, making me a tricycle bicycle. So I fell off of a two-wheel bicycle. It's in progress.
So what made you decide to build a hangar and then a hangar home here in Texas and start building these beautiful aircraft? What got you into it? Well,
I've always loved airplanes, and I think living with your airplanes is just about the ultimate thing you can do. You walk out the living room door and you're in the hangar, and there's the airplanes. And I don't fly much anymore. I still fly a little bit, but we flew all over the country. We had 182 and 172 and stuff like that. And I was always building home builds. And this is just, to me, it was like a golfer living on a golf course, or a fisherman living next to the water.
Sure.
You just live next to your airplanes. Here are some of my builders. This is probably 0.5% of them, but I've got builders all over the world.
What made you decide to build the first Legal Eagle? What was the mission?
Well, I was having trouble getting my medical.
Okay.
And my wife she had Parkinson's, and she was dying, and I was having trouble getting my blood pressure down to where I could pass my medical. I said, well, they're not going to stop me from flying. I'll build something that can fly. So I built the first Legal Eagle, and it's still over there on the other side of the hangar. I'll show it to you in a little bit. And I put a picture, when it finished it, I put a picture in a VA magazine, and everybody in the country wanted one of them. My phone rang off of the wall for months. I want some plans, I want some plans.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any plans. I had notes and scratches and stuff that I did when I built it. So I had to sit down and make plans from an airplane that was already ready to fly. And that's not an easy task.
You had to reverse engineer your own engineering.
Reverse engineer my own airplane. and been selling the plans ever since, and there's probably, I think, 300 or 400 of them flying. I've got them in countries all over the world, in countries I've never heard of before.
Well, isn't that a pat on the back to the work that you've done, huh?
Well, it's really a nice feeling to know that people are flying that probably never would fly any other way. And now they're getting it. And a lot of them go ahead and get their private license and go and make a career out of flying just because they started with the legal.
Yeah.
And this is probably 1% of the not even 1% of the actual ones that are finished. I ran out of space to put the pictures up there. And this is some of my airplanes that I built. This is a montage of them.
So this is serial number 1 of Legal Eagles?
This is number uno, and it's about 25, 26 years old. It still flies good whenever I unfold it and go flying. But I made a folding wing that would work on it, and people wanted folding wings so they could store it in the wintertime. And up in north they have a long winters and they can't fly, so they can store this and not take up too much room.
So you made a set of helping hands here to hold the inboard,
yeah,
so you can swing the wing.
If you want to take the wing off, you just pull this cotter pea out and the wing will come clear off. And this is the first one, and I didn't know whether I could make the weight or not. This is the first better half VW engine with the full case, and that's what the other cylinders go back here. They did, and this makes it. You have to modify the crankshaft, and you have to cut one head into and put on one on each, half of it on each side. You have to modify the rim here on the head so that you can modify the valve cover and put it on. And this, to show you how weight conscious I am, this is a piece of vanity sink drain. It's chrome plated and it doesn't weigh anything. It's real thin, but boy is it loud. You have to wear hearing protection.
Yeah.
But
did the first try out, did you actually make weight, or did you have to start shaping?
Oh no, I made it with 10 pounds to spare.
Really?
The first one, this is 254. No, 244.
Okay.
244. This is 244, and now the XL, that's got a little closer. It's 246, but it doesn't have any instruments to speak of on it.
So you went immediately from serial number 1 design, and then you went over to the XL, which is this other one sitting over here?
Well, everybody, the bigger people, this is good for, the Legal Eagle is good for people about 220 pounds. Okay. And if they're any bigger than that, they usually hang out on both sides. But the bigger people want to make me an ultralight, and I got that so much that I finally designed the XL. It had a bigger, stronger wing, a bigger, roomier cockpit, and it's a little bit longer. But I had to really be careful to get about the weight on it. So there's hardly any instruments at all. The oil pressure gauge is out on the engine. You have to look out there and see if you got oil pressure or not. And so I didn't want to have the weight of the tubing coming inside.
So the differences are from the original one is that the wing is built up a little bit stronger.
The wing is one section longer.
One section longer.
And the spar is built up a little bit stronger. Okay. And it's been tested to 4Gs with bricks. I built a jig to put the wing in upside down, and we put 1,008 pounds of bricks on it, and it's bent 5 inches, but it didn't make any sound.
So the fuselage is a little bit wider, so you've got room width-wise. Is it also a little bit taller for head height, or is that the same?
It's taller and wider and longer.
Taller, wider, and longer.
And you can adjust the rudder pedal to fit your legs. And there's been a lot of videos about it all over the world, and people want plans for the XL.
And this also utilizes the half Volkswagen, or something?
It has the same half Volkswagen, about 30 horsepower. I estimate it's about 30 horsepower because the 4-cylinder version of this is 60 horsepower. It's considered to be 60 horsepower. So I figured that since it's half, it's got to be about 30 horsepower. There's a lot of people claim a lot more power out of the half Volkswagens but it's very adequate. It flies the airplane nice, and it sounds like a Harley Davidson motorcycle.
Right.
And you can see what conscious I am about weight. You can look at the seat. The seat weighs 1 pound, and the seat belt weighs 2 pounds.
Okay.
So people say, well, that looks like uncomfortable, but it's very comfortable. It form fits you when you sit down in it. It fits your back and it fits your rear end.
Yeah, it's very flexible.
If you like that, it's easy.
Is that simply the 016 or 020?
It's 16.
016, yeah.
Yeah, 016. And some people make little holes in between, but that's a little bit extreme. But you have to be really careful. This is where I got the oil pressure gauge on this one, so I don't have to run a tube inside.
Straight off of the block.
Right off the block. You can see it from the cockpit if you look out there.
So going through the different models again, they got the original Legal Eagle, got the XL, and then you decided to go really different, and you made it really wide.
I had a friend who's a crop duster down in Alvin, Texas. And he kept saying, well, why don't you make me one of them? He weighed about 300 pounds. And so I said, I'll make you one, and I started the Double Eagle, and it was going to be for him, but he died before I could finish it. And we want to go look at that?
Let's go take a look at that.
Let's go look at the Double Eagle over here.
We are partnering with great companies like Dynon Avionics at Dynon.com, Airtech Coatings at AirTechCoatings.com, Clemens Insurance at ClemensInsurance.net, The Aviators Clinic at AviatorsClinic.com, Foxtrot 95, Calhoun County Airport at FlyFoxtrot95.com, Edge Performance at EdgePerformance.no. Take a moment to go visit their websites at the links found below in the description of this video. And visit our website at ExperimentalAircraftChannel.com for events, our video library arranged in easy-to-find playlists on specific topics, affiliate products, aviation merchandise, and so much more.
This is a Double Eagle, and I built it for a friend of mine that weighed about 300 pounds for a single-seat airplane, but he died before I could finish it, and so I made it into a ultralight trainer because it made it into two-seat ultralight trainer, and that went out of style with the EAA and the FAA, so now it's an LSA, a light sports aircraft. And there's a lot of them been built and flying. And some people have built a Legal Eagle and a Double Eagle. And they can take their family along with them, one member of their family along with them. I've seen a lot of pictures of them flying with their kids sitting beside them and things like that.
So the other big difference from the other ones and the Double now is the seats.
Well,
you also have a double cylinders. You have now a four-cylinder.
You got the four-cylinder. It's a full four-cylinder, and it's 60 horsepower. It's rated at 60 horsepower. Now I have a Kubota tractor alternator on here for electrical.
Okay, so this also has an electrical system.
It runs off the back, yeah.
Electric start, or you still hand prop?
No, it's hand prop.
Okay.
It starts very easy. All the Volkswagen starts very easy. If they have fuel, that's the main thing. They fire right up. To start this one, I turned it over 4 times, and then I turn the switch on, and it starts first or second prop, second turn. And it fires very easy. It runs real good. The oil pressure is 40 pounds when you're flying, and when you're taxiing back, it's 10 pounds. And it's ideal, I think, because you don't want a lot of oil pressure because it takes a lot lot of power to pump oil if you got too much pressure. But you want some, and this is just about as ideal as it gets. This engine's been a very good little engine for me.
And how much bigger is the wing area on the double compared to the XL and other?
Right off the top of my head, I can't bring it up. It's been so many years ago that I built it. But the airfoil is the same.
Okay.
And I'll get a rib and show it to you.
Private stash of ribs.
Yeah, you have to make quite a few of those ribs. There is a nose rib that goes on the front. The spar goes in between.
Okay. Which rib is this for?
For all of them.
For all of them.
Yeah, I only have one. This rib is really good on climb, and really good on gliding, and really a nice airfoil. The stall is almost non-existent. It just doesn't want to stall at all. If you let up on the stick while you're stalling, it starts flying again. I had a friend said, I'm going to go for a spin. I didn't realize what he was doing. And he started climbing and climbing and climbing. I kept wondering, what is he doing? He put the legal into a spin. And I said, oh my God, he's spinning it. He came out at he did about a turn and a half. He pulled it out, and he started climbing back up again. I said, oh no, he's going to do it again. At that time, he held it into a spin and made 2 turns, and it came out by itself while he was holding it in.
Yeah.
I told him, well, it started dropping fast as it flew, so it started flying. But they're very stable. They're very sensitive. You move the stick, you move the airplane. It's like the stick was welded into the airplane, and you just push the airplane any way you want to push the stick. It was my favorite airplane to fly of all the Eagles. And
well, open cockpit experience, right? That's the best.
Yep. And well, when I fly the Cabin Eagle, I leave the doors open.
Yeah.
It's got doors on it, and I leave it open when I fly the Cabin Eagle.
Well, let's walk over to that. Explain the difference between your 4th iteration.
Well, Cabin Eagle has the same wing, but it has a center section that the Double Eagle doesn't have, so it makes it a longer wing. I could have cut the wing down a little bit, but it flies great like it is.
So you've flown this one, and then what other props that you liked?
Oh, the prop you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I estimated what I needed, and it turned out just right. It's a little bigger than the Double Eagle prop and a little more pitch because it's a lot more engine. Mm-hmm. And I like to fly it. It flies good. But I usually leave the doors off or open them up.
So if somebody were to order a set of plans from you and they want to start building their garage, what does the plan say to start out, or where do you suggest starting through the building, working your way through?
Well, they usually have an idea of what they want, which airplane they want. If not, I talk them into buying the XL because it's a very pleasing airplane, and it's also very easy to sell if you want to sell it. Everybody wants one, and there's a demand for the XL airplane. And I send them a set of plans, and I recommend that they build something every day on their airplane. If you go in the shop and build on your airplane, say, I'm going to designate an hour a day. Well, you get in there, first thing you know, it's 3 hours, and you've got a lot more done than you planned on. And if you do that every day, even if you just got in your car and went and got a bolt, it's got to be done. So it's something, do something every day, and it's amazing how fast the airplane will be an airplane. And I tell them, you're not building an airplane, you're building parts. Build a tail, and that, pay attention just for the tail only, and when that's done, it's a good feeling. Then you build wing ribs, and you get a stack of wing ribs that all match everything. It's beautiful to have a nice big pile of wing ribs built. And fuselage, of course, is welded with this 4130 chromoly tubing. It's welded up, jig it all up and welded up. And some people don't know how to weld. Some people teach themselves how to weld, and that's what I did originally. Was more or less had a lot of help from people, hints and things, and watched me weld. And the first airplane, I welded it all up by myself. And it can be done. It's just an airplane. It's not a rocket to the moon or something. But the thing is, make it safe.
Yeah.
I mean, the weld might not look good, but if it's tied in on real good on both sides, it's a good weld. But nowadays, my
So
welds.
you recommend working way through to start through the tail, and then to the ribs, finish the wings, and then move on to the fuselage?
Well, personally, I recommend build a fuselage, because everything hooks onto the fuselage. Everything else is you can fit it to the fuselage as you build it, and it has to be done that way because the plans aren't that accurate. You can just build a bunch of parts and put it together. You got to make everything match and fit the other parts that you build, and it's pretty simple. Once you get all worried about how complicated it is, but once you start, I tell them start building, and it'll all work its way out, and it does. And you're concentrating on that one area. When you look at all the plans, it's kind of mind-boggling. But if you just build one part first, and then the next part, and then the next one, first thing you know, you got an airplane sitting there, and you need to cover it. And that's what I recommend.
Leonard shared with me that he is currently 99 years old, still building. He celebrates his 100th birthday this year in July. So if you see him at EAA Oshkosh, say hello. Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Experimental Aircraft Channel. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss a single episode.